Welcome back to Civ Tactics. Today we're going to be talking about modern conflicts and why we should be ready. I have two different people's opinions because I don't want just my opinion on this channel. I think it's important to have other people's opinions on conflicts and stuff of that sort. First off, we're going to be talking about what's happening in Mexico with the cartel and the leader dying. We're going to ask a few questions. We're going to ask personal questions. We're going to ask, like, what would you do in that situation? Okay, you're first. What do you think of the war?
What do I think of the war?
Or the terrorism? That's what
Terrorism.
It's terrorism.
Okay, we'll say terrorism. I think that the removing of cartel members is partially good. Is removing crime from the Mexican area, and cartels and governments neither should rule people.
Mhm.
And I think the government did a good job at protecting its people. It's doing a not so good job now because the cartel is killing a bunch of people.
Mhm.
But it's still government's still trying to protect its people, which is its rightful place. Um, Personally, I would not travel to Mexico at this current moment.
All right. Well, if you could, like, okay, we're just using it as a hypothetical. You got stuck there on travel. What would you, if you could go to like a CVS? Well, I don't even know if they have CVS's, but like
Like a convenience store.
a convenience store. What would you grab if you were in that situation? Like, we're getting. I want to see like different people's opinions.
I'm going to grab the smallest food items that would fill me up, just like granola bars that I could stuff.
Like protein bars.
Yeah, protein bars,
Yeah.
something I can stuff in my pockets and would actually fit, and I'd be able to carry along. Maybe grab a gallon of water or two to like carry on
Any
my
medical?
medical. I mean, it's not really.
Like a boo boo patch?
I mean, I'd probably grab a few band aids and maybe some isopropyl, some alcohol.
Yeah. You need that alcohol.
Yeah, the alcohol is good. Maybe some actual
Alcohol.
wine, because wine is good. It calms you and it helps remove bad things from your.
All right, on that point, alcohol also is a really good trading resource. So, like, if for some reason you needed something, you could trade that
You
wine.
give someone some wine, and
Yeah.
they'd be more than happy to because wine makes you happy.
Yeah, and that's a rare commodity. I mean, you're not just that's not just surviving; that's thriving at that point.
And of course, would I have to pay for this, or could I just grab
You would
it?
have in that conflict. I feel like you have to pay. So
What if I like
don't do that. We don't condone stealing unless you really have to.
What if I told the police he was a cartel member? Round like clock him in his jaw. And
All right, so this is the kind of expertise you get from this guy. All right, we're coming over here. What do you think about this conflict?
The conflict's never good. You never necessarily never want to have anything like this ever happen, but when it does, you always want to be prepared. And that's probably the best thing that you can do whenever these situations do come up. So, like you said, you could go to a CVS or whatever kind of equivalent that they do have in that country, and you get all your necessary supplies, especially medical things, with what cartels are doing right now with tourists and just their own citizens as well. Biggest thing that I would say, tourniquets. Those seriously help out. You cannot get enough of those. Actually, you can, but you get what I mean.
I get what you mean. Like, it's a valuable resource because you can save not just your family but other people if needed.
Yeah, of course. And like he said, the smaller foods that will fill you up, those are always going to be the best because they don't take up space in your bag, but they'll take up space in you, which is
And weight.
Yeah, that's
Weight's a
also
big deal
thing.
too.
So things ranging from like drink mixes because those can help with hydration and just electrolytes
And
in
healing
general.
too. Like, if you're injured,
Yeah.
hydration's big.
Yep. Um, Dressing and gauze are two big things as well. I don't know if they'd necessarily have anything like that at a CVS.
Bandages. They'd have like
Yeah.
those really big band-aids. Like, because even what people get wrong is like dressing. Well, some people dressing gauze, like, that's emergency. Like, I'm dying. You can use that to help like your blisters on your feet. So that's a big deal, especially if you have to keep moving because you're not as well armored as the cartel in this situation.
Yeah, that'd be really weird if I brought my plate carrier on vacation.
Yeah, you have an M2 Browning.
All right, there we go. Ready to go for a beach, but
So is that all you have on this?
food, medications, not medications, but medical
Medicine or
supplies.
medication?
Yeah. You can't really get a hold of a gun.
Not well. You can, but it's difficult, and
Especially,
it'd probably be more dangerous than it's worth right now going out and trying to find a gun, especially with all the activity.
the number one thing you want to do is just get away from that.
Yeah, the number one rule: get away, hide.
Yeah.
My personal spin on it, I think it's horrible that what's happening to the civilians. I'm sad that they're locked down. I hope that they can get help, and I hope they can get out. I think it's great that we killed that dude. I mean, he shouldn't be alive in the first place for what he's done. But like he said, I mean, tourniquets are a big deal. I mean, even if they're shooting you in the leg, that can save your life. Gauze, I think food, everything basically he covered. One thing I will say is if you can get a hold of it, like a good like tent or sleeping bag, because in those situations, this might sound crazy, but if they come and shoot your house, being as low as possible already helps, especially if you're sleeping. So even just sleeping on the ground, or even having like, and if you have to move, just little stuff like camping equipment, like little camping equipment. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to overpower them or outfight them. You might be able to kill one or two of them with a rifle, but it's more about evading them because we don't want to be stuck with them. Uh, any more points on like what would you guys do to escape in this situation other than plane? Because the issue is it's really expensive to get out, and I don't expect a regular family to be able to afford that. So, what would your plan be to get out of this kind of a situation?
Well, first I would try and figure out where exactly in Mexico I am,
Yeah.
because if I'm,
I hope you already know that.
I mean, I would hope so too, but you never know. You might wander somewhere without realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm too far south, I might try and go towards South America. If I'm north enough, I might try going to the border, trying to find a way to go the long way to get around the cartel, hopefully get to Border Patrol. Hopefully they would let me in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of
Well, if
course,
you're a U.S. citizen, they will let you in because that's
if I
priority
have
right
my
now.
US if I have my US passport,
Yeah.
they would. I'd have to make sure to keep my US passport safe.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the most important things to keep safe at this moment. Like yeah, is food and water and medical supplies are very important, but if you want to get back in the US,
Mm-hmm.
you want to keep your passport somewhere safe.
Oh, so that should take you would try to walk it or drive it.
I'd probably walk it
Yeah,
because
more safe, easier to divert.
like yeah, the car it could probably protect me from a few bullets,
But you're a big target.
but yeah, it makes a lot of sound. Big target, it attracts a lot of
Mm-hmm.
attention, and I'm sure they have the equipment to take out bigger vehicles than
Oh
I
yeah.
can get a hold of.
All right. What's your opinion? Like, how would you escape Mexico in this situation, or try to hide or get out if you just had to get out and you're a U.S. citizen?
If evasion was the absolute key, have to get out no matter what. I'd probably be a little less dependent actually on like getting supplies and more about literally just
Leaving,
moving.
just
Yeah,
booking it.
yeah. I would personally stick with the car because while it does make you louder and a bigger target, you're going to move so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's in a crisis like this where, people are being shot on the streets, there's,
You
you
can at
know,
least get away.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you're not really going to necessarily be like, okay, got to follow traffic laws. You're just going to want to be like, I need to get out of here
Mm-hmm.
now.
You could probably grab an off-roading vehicle and
Like
go,
a pickup truck,
so then
a
you
good
don't go
pickup.
through the
Anything
crowd.
like that.
Personally, if I had to get out, depends on, like he said, depends on where I am. I need, like he said, I'm going down or I'm going up, depending on where I am. Going to America, I'd try to go to America because I have the passport and the border security would already be there to help me.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, if I was alone in this situation, I would try to. This sounds crazy, but I try to find a dirt bike. Like that would be to me the best way. Movable, you can get out. If I had a family, I'd try to find a nice pickup truck, like an F-150 or something similar. Nothing too big, but just a way to get out. The foot idea is not bad if you're close, but I would be just scared of how much you have to walk.
If you're a little far away, I'm just grabbing a vehicle that can go off-roading because if you go through the cities, there's a higher chance of meeting cartel, and if unless you went through like the forestry areas.
Have y'all ever thought about boats? Like just like skipping on a boat? Because I actually thought about that. If
Yeah,
they weren't holding a dock, could I just steal a boat and go somewhere?
you know how to hotwire the boat.
Yeah.
Or if you find a key.
But your first choice should get to a U.S. embassy. Like if you're a U.S. citizen, go to a U.S. embassy, talk to them. They will help you. They have more money and more power and have more everything. They will probably save you more often. If you're a U.S. citizen, if you're not, then you have to find a way out yourself. You have to survive. It's either die or survive in those situations, or plant.
Think they'd allow negotiation? I can negotiate with these cartel members.
No, cartel does not negotiate. I promise you, unless you have a wife or a daughter. Honestly, like that sounds bad, but that's about it. And you give them your money, they're gonna kill you after you give your money. They're just ruthless. They have no morals. But that's our take on what's happening in Mexico right now and how we would do to that. Next, guys, we're going to talk about the modern conflict in Iran right now and what's happening and why it's a different situation because it's less of there are terrorist groups killing people, but it's less of a cartel guy just riding around in a pickup truck shooting you, and it's more of a missiles hitting you. It's a bigger, more explosive issue, if you would say. Again, we're going to start with him. We're going to talk about what he thinks about conflict, how he would what he would want in this situation, where he would want to hide. That's where we want to talk about, and then we'll talk a bit about evading in a minute. Uh, Take it away.
I don't know much about Iran,
Iran.
right? I don't know much about the geography or the cities of it. It's a decently large country for the Middle East. For the Middle East, of course.
Mhm.
Um, well, it would depend if I'm close to a border. Depending on what country it borders, I would try and get into this other country. Most countries that border Iran, I would believe to be worthwhile.
The I'm gonna interrupt you. The one country right now, and I know it sounds opposite, but I would not go to Israel right now because that border is so packed with fighting that it would
Oh
be
yeah,
yeah, you would be deadly. I know. I'm just saying because it's the closest U.S. ally. But if you're a U.S.
it's
don't
the
go there.
closest U.S. ally, but there's a lot of. That's where the war is
Yeah, like
happening.
you're gonna die.
So if I'm on a border to a different country, I'm most other the countries around Iran. Now, not all of them, but I'm sure a few of them
Better than the situation.
would be better than this current situation I'm in. If I'm near the middle, I would probably try and hunker in,
Mhm.
try and
So you're saying not leave because missiles aren't that active there?
well, it's not just missiles. Like you have your men.
Taliban.
You
You have the it's so there's not a lot of Israeli government or not there yet. It's mostly Taliban and other terrorist groups that are killing civilians. Still, they kill civilians every day, but that's your main issue
yeah, so
in that
they're going to
situation.
be roaming around a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
I mean, I try and slowly make my way to one of the borders or some U.S. Controlled
Mhm.
zone,
Like a
but
base
yeah, like
or an embassy.
embassy, base, something that is U.S. that would help U.S. citizens.
I have a question about this.
Mm-hmm.
If you were stuck there, like you could not leave for some reason, like you're in the dead center of it, like it would take you I don't know how big, let's say 3 days, 4 days of driving, and you just can't do that with your family, or say you have an elderly person. What would your plan be? Like, what kind of building would you want to be in?
I would probably try and take a. That's a good question, actually. It depends, like what part of the middle. If it's mostly
Just
just,
like middle. So there's some missiles coming, but
yeah, I don't know what the middle is though. Is it because if it's civilian buildings like
it's
houses,
just civilian building. Most of it's only civilian building.
I mean, there's not really anywhere good for me to go. I'd probably try and find somewhere that has hopefully a basement.
That would be the best place.
I would try and find some form of weapon. Probably
Yep.
not a gun, but a knife or some
Something.
rock or a bat of some sort. And I would try and hunker in either. I'd either hunker in on the basement. If there's no basement, probably go to the second or third floor.
Why higher? You're just gonna die faster.
Well, I mean, if I go on the bottom floor, the minute they enter, they see me. If I go up higher, I can hear them coming up the stairs.
My only fear would be bombs in that situation, like missiles.
Yeah, if I'm on the bottom floor, a missile's still gonna hit me.
I know, but if you're at the top, you're gonna fall to the bottom,
Okay,
and if you're at the bottom, maybe you have a better chance. You don't think so?
I wouldn't think so.
Well, everyone has their opinion. That's what this channel is about, is opinions. Um, that's a hard situation because not like the Mexican cartel that is and under siege there. You have like missile ordnance that can directly target areas. So and they make a lot more damage. So it's kind of hard. It's scary, and there's also drones going on too, which will hunt you down. So what I would advise if you're anywhere near there and you can get to a military base or an embassy, if you're a U.S. citizen, go, please. Don't stay, don't stay. It's gonna be worse for you because when they find out you're American, they're gonna do worse. Do you have anything else? Like, actually, let's ask this: if you found a convenience store, what would you grab? Same things,
I would take everything I could humanly carry.
everything you can humanly care.
First, the essentials like food and water.
Mm-hmm.
I would take more water than food because yeah, you can last longer without food. Try and ration the food out more. Definitely some form of tool, like tools of some
I
form,
like that.
possibly weapons. Definitely medical supplies, especially if you
So the
have
same thing as Mexico, basically.
same thing as
Same
Mexico,
thing.
but a little extra.
I
And if I could, I would probably go for like a second round since I'm hungry again.
I got that. What do you think about this very sad conflict that's going on right now?
It's horrible. Basically, what's happening. It's war over the most controversial thing, and it's religion, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about from a civilian's perspective. Like, if you were a civilian on the ground, I mean, we could talk about military stuff. I get why it's okay. We're attacking them, but from a civilian, if you were there, you know,
Just what I would do.
what you think as if you were thinking as a civilian's mindset. Like, imagine this is the U.S. Put it that way.
I gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you have. Is that your main goal?
Yeah, main
Basically,
goal evasion. Get out.
evasion.
Yeah,
Good goal. Uh, what do you think would be the most deadly to you in this war zone?
if I was stuck in Iran, um, Taliban.
Taliban? You wouldn't think missiles?
Well, they're sending them, are they not? Or no, my bad. Holy.
Yeah. They are sending them, but I mean, like an accident Israeli missiles, and this also goes both ways. Like if you're an Israeli civilian, I would honestly be more scared of missiles as an Israeli.
You should cut it. Just rewind it back a little.
Well, this is going both ways for Israel civilians. Uh, I would be more scared of bombs and missiles in that situation because you don't really have a terrorist group there that's attacking you per se. They are, but it's a little safer, like for a civilian world, rather than we're more worried about missiles and drones. Where what we're talking about, we're more worried about foot troop and missiles, of course, but they shouldn't be aiming missiles at us. Correct? Just maybe a misdirect.
Yeah, like if you're in the country, you'd probably want to get to one of the lowest populated areas. That way, that's not the main targeted zone.
Away from military bases.
Exactly. Yeah. Just away from all that stuff.
U.S. embassy. Well, I don't think there's an embassy there. Uh, if you can get out of a country to an embassy, would you? That's what your goal would be.
Yeah, to the embassy, and then after the embassy, to get probably out of the entire continent.
Yeah, just the U.S. He just wants to go home.
What countries border Iran?
I have to check that on the map. Fact checking, guys.
Yeah. I heard there was like the government literally put out a warning. It's like for like 14 different countries in the Middle East.
Yeah, because it's just the issue is that it's just not Iran's not just attacking Israel; they're attacking a lot of other countries. So you have to be anywhere near that border. You just have to be scared.
We have quite a few, and most of them
Kuwait,
aren't
Iraq,
exactly
yeah,
in
Afghanistan. We have those kind of areas. But honestly,
Pakistan, Afghanistan.
I would go. I would go to Pakistan probably. Just like go to Pakistan.
Well, it depends on what side.
I don't know anything
Iran
about
is a
this.
pretty big, is a decently large country.
Yeah, it is.
Especially for
It's area. You can go to Saudi Arabia.
no, that's across water.
No, you can go through Iraq. There's plenty of things we can do. But next in the last point, last but not least, we're going to talk about the
Russian and Ukrainian war. Russian and Ukrainian war.
that's what we're talking about. Okay, what do you think?
Vodka.
Vodka.
Mm. Ukrainian, Ukrainian must die.
I hope is that your real opinion?
No. I think the whole war is decently stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's over a decently petty matter that the Russians. It was because the Russians wanted to
They wanted more
reclaim.
land,
Yeah.
yeah.
They wanted to reclaim their land of past and whatnot. If they truly wanted to reclaim it, they should have first off figured out how many troops they had and if they would actually be able to attack Ukraine. Second,
It'll take 1 week. 4 years later.
is they miscalculate themselves. So now it's just an ongoing war that has become small talk because it's faded out of small talk too. People have just kind of
Yeah, it's such a bloody war, but it's been going on for so long
it's
that it's like
well,
we
it's been going on for so long and it's not as it doesn't feel as intense because we're talking about drones and it's not
even
as
though that
much in person. Like, yeah, drones are scary, but there's not as much in person like battle is 1-to-1, so it doesn't catch the public's eye.
It doesn't catch news. But honestly, that to me is the scariest war right now, because the Russian-Ukraine war, because it's just a drone battle. So you're just a regular guy getting bombed by drones, and that's really scary. What if from a civilian standpoint, if you were stuck in that situation, what would you think?
I would go join I wouldn't join forces and like fight the other team, but I think if I was stuck in the middle of it, I just go jump in one of the trenches.
Just jump in the trench.
Jump in the trench.
Just run. That's your goal.
Snuggle up with a cat.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of cats.
there's a story about a guy who was with a cat.
Oh really?
Yeah, like he left a will, and he was like talking about like take care of my cat.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. It's very sad.
it's
Would
very-
you just try to get away? Is that your goal? Like evade?
Yeah, I would try and get away. If I couldn't, as I said before, go to a trench, that'd be one of the most and least deadliest places.
But that's now. But like, say, I know what you're saying. Like a direct assault.
Are you saying like
No,
when
no.
it first happened?
When it first happened, that's a great point right there. I like that. But I'm saying like now that the gunfight's over, everyone's going to bed. What are you doing?
Oh, hightailing it,
Hightailing?
becoming a white-tailed deer and sprinting the ever-loving Jesus out of there.
Okay. Now, what's your opinion before it gets dark?
Like he said, it's a stupid war for a stupid reason. I definitely think it's the most deadly one because just like when guns were created, it kind of took the humanity out of killing a little bit more.
Yeah,
Cause,
it was less like a personal, like I'm here, I'm
Yeah.
shooting. It's more now like I'm through a screen.
it feels almost like a video game
Yeah.
at that point. Takes
And-
the guilt out of it.
Yeah. What would you do on the original assault? Like if you're building your city was getting attacked by Russian,
Getting out of there.
you're leaving.
No.
Just hightailing. You're
Yeah.
not fighting.
No,
Just hightailing.
no need to fight.
So like I think that's the first rule for any civilian: evade, just evade, evade, evade. Till you know what the saying is: run till you can't, crawl, or what is it? Run till you can't, walk till you can't, crawl till you can't, and then rest. Um, my opinion on this war, I think it's very sad that what's happening right now. I think it could have been very easily stopped if.
It's sad for both sides.
Yeah, it's like it's sad that so many people have to die over such a stupid matter. Uh, I if I was in that situation, if I let's say just happened, I had a family, I would have wanted to have backed. But if if I was single, maybe I'd join up, try to just fight for my country because I think that's what like I would want to do. You know,
If you were Ukrainian or Russian, you would.
not Russian, because the Russian government is just they're they're just throwing people out there.
If you
Like
were a Russian citizen, would you join the forces?
they're forced to, and the equipment they're getting. I'm not saying Ukraine has great equipment, but they're sometimes not even giving guns. So it's like it's kind of like crazy to go into war with a Timu vest and no guns. But at the same time, they didn't have a choice. But I think it's sad that so much blood had to happen in that war. I think it's the most deadly war that's happening. It's happening right now out of every war. We'll see how the Iranian war goes. Not the most deadly. Well, lots of deaths that happen.
Yeah.
And right now, current conflict. We'll see how the Iranian war goes. I don't think it'll last very long. Maybe 4 or 5 months, and then we'll pull out once we screwed them over enough. But it's just a pissing match in Ukraine. Honestly, it's just a pissing match. But the guys in Ukraine are outnumbered 10-1, and they're doing a fine job at defending their country. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Definitely.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for watching this video. I wanted to post this because all of this crazy stuff is happening in the world, especially U.S. involvement. Uh, I want you guys to think to yourselves, am I ready if this ever does happen here? I hope it never does, but am I ready? And you also have to think in their perspective if you were a citizen there or you're just a civilian and you don't, it happens. It's crazy. People think it'll never happen, but it does. Thank you guys for watching this. I hope this really makes you think. Thank you guys. Thank you both for coming on here and giving me your opinions on this whole situation because I want everyone to have their own opinion. Don't feel scared to put your opinion in the comments. Don't be rude, but put your opinion in the comments because I want to know what you guys think and what you guys would do. So tactics out.